Yo, what's up, guys? We are here with yet another episode of Battle Pirates Crow's Nest No Quarter. And we are up to episode 84, A Pillaging We Will Go. And we got our usual list of suspects here. We got Ross Crow.
Good evening, all.
We got Stormcatcher.
Hello, everyone.
We got Chuck.
Evening, people.
And we got Watchman,
Hello, everyone.
who has a hell of a time not talking about the game before we go live. Anyway, so I guess we'll talk about pillage. How's everybody's pillage going? Ross, we'll start with you.
I started out pillage kind of slow. Well, I mean, the pillage for me has been pretty slow. I went out and immediately I thought my Praetorian fleet was ready for this event. I actually worked on it quite a bit and trying to get it ready for the, not just the pillage, but for the weekly. And so I did just that in what I thought was. So I went out and hit the 128, and oh my golly, it was just silly damage. First, I tried to auto that, and then that was just beyond crazy. So I did try it again, just to see what the possibilities were. And for me, the damage was just, I can't even recall actually, but it was just off the charts. Hours and hours and hours. It was several hours for.
It was so high it made you black out and you can't remember how long it was.
It was multiple hours. It was just like, well, that's just not an option for my in fun, for fun in me. And I mean, it's definitely an option, but I just didn't consider that fun. So I'm holding back. I'm at 135K, so that still is quite a few points. It's points enough to pick up, the hull itself and that type of thing. I don't have all the upgrades for it. I'm just not going to get it, and I'm calling pillage good. It's just damage is just too high for me. So I'm okay with I did what I needed to do, and I think I'm working on the weekly now. So there's my pillage actually.
I'm about with Ross. Went in with my Pratt's at the 128, 5 hours worth of damage. I was like, okay. We hit the 130, and I had about an hour and a half of damage, but I've got that down to about an hour and 5 minutes. So while my fleets were repairing, I went into the Infernal Dragon one, and I was coming out with free map repairs. No, wait a minute. It was free repairs to the base. I hit about 4 or 5 of them. Then I went in and hit another one, drove the same path and everything. Walked out with about 2 hours worth of damage, and I'm like, what in the heck? So I'm sitting, I think, about 130,000. I have one of the flagships. I don't know. Well, you can get 2 of the flagships, so I have a feeling that there is a corrosive weapon coming out in the raid. So I'm gonna have to get both of them. So we'll probably end up building 2 fleets. I hope not, but
there's a second flag in there because one person asked for it.
That's my opinion. That's what I think too. I think it's just because one person needs it.
Okay, well, I'll just stick with my one, but I've been doing a lot of other things today and just watching on the app on the phone whenever my silverfish or my bat rays are healed. Then I jump in, take care of the target, throw them back in the repairs, and go do what I need to do while I'm running the weekly on the phone.
You had me worried there for a second. You said Silvertails, and I thought, oh my God, did I miss a fleet?
Yeah, it's been a rough day.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time.
Sorry.
I know my pillage, the first target I tried was the 128 because I got on Discord and I was like, oh, how are the targets? And everybody was like, oh, the 130 was fine. And then somebody, I'm not going to mention any names, Ford, being a smartass, said, oh, the 130 and the 128 is gravy. So I went in the 128 and yeah, I took like fucking 8 hours of damage, I think, on the first one I hit. And that was the only one I hit. And I'm like, nope, I'm not doing it anymore. Now, I have heard they have been dialed back, they have been dialed back a decent amount. And, there's some videos out there of people using decoy flags, to take a lot less considerable damage than what they were to begin with, because it seems like a lot of the damage in there is splash. But I'm just like, I'm not going back to doing that fucking thing. I'm like, you lost me on that initial release, and I'm not going back. But I mean, I've gotten enough points that I have my flag, and I've got starting to get some of the, because I needed penetrative batteries, and I needed what else was it? Of course, my BXP tokens from my flag. So I'm kind of working on them slowly but surely as we go. But I mean, the 130s you can do pretty minimal damage, and then if you do need to take some time out and repair, you can auto razor tails and the one, the 67, the 69, and bat race in the 69 too. So you can just auto those. So I don't know, but it's okay. It's nothing I'm like all excited about or nothing, but it's not like I'm overall horrified with it either. The only thing I was horrified with was the 128s.
Yeah, no, I would be in agreement with that. It's not a not doable event. It's totally doable. I was just excited because I had my Praetorian fleet. In what I had thought built pretty nice, and it's just so that 128 target is what I was going for, but I'm good with it. It is what it is. I did pick up enough to earn what I need.
I skipped the 128s until Thursday afternoon. I pretty much did the 130s. I got the flagship and all the things that I needed for building the flag, upgrading it, and getting the VXP for it. And I'm pretty much done with pillage.
Okay.
I did try the 128s after Thursday, and yeah, you had to drive with the flag out in front, and I still don't know how to do the waypoints correctly, so I didn't try that maneuver. Still took a lot of damage, so 128s were not my best thing to do.
Yeah, it'd be nice if somebody did a video with the waypoint method, because all the videos I've seen have been people driving, not using waypoints.
I don't know how to do it. So I mean,
Is it just shift? Use the shift key. Right.
Yeah, as far as setting them up, you just use the shift key and then click where you want them to go. But as far as where they put the waypoints and all that kind of stuff is more or less the important part.
Okay, getting onto the actual pillage. Yeah, I hit a few of the 130s with my silverfish. Seemed quite reasonable. I went into the 128 with my Praetorians. Yeah, I wasn't too happy with the damage taken from them, but that was the first attempt. Stuck a grease monkey on. Went back out, and I was getting two 128s for about 5 gold with a grease monkey on. And I thought, that's acceptable. I can live with that. Because, remember, I didn't do the event last week, so I didn't spend any money there at all. Because there was nothing I needed. So I thought, yeah, I could spend a little bit this week. And so that's what I did. I run, which is an hour and a half per grease monkey. I run that down. And then I went and put a grease monkey crew on the silverfish as well. and did that. And about 4 hours into the pillage, I was on 593k, which is basically it. You know, I've got, I could get a few more points if I needed to. It is possible to spend them, but I don't think there's anything I really need. You know,
Well, the sync drives.
yeah, I've got quite a few of. I took what were the ones that I needed. I mean, the others I already had to fit a few of, I think. So, yeah, I'll check my inventory and just see, so I don't overlook anything and think, damn it, I should have claimed them. But yeah, as it goes, 5 gold for 2 128s. Obviously, you're using the Grease Monkey crew. I thought it was reasonable, but as I think people might have known before, I did have a lot of Grease Monkey crews, and I thought, well, I might as well start using the bloody things, you know.
Right. No, so you're doing well. So that's good.
Yeah. I mean, it was basically by 4 hours into the pillage, I was on just under 600k. So yeah, I think that's everything I need, to be honest with you. It's sensible.
Grease Monkeys is the only road crew that I have never gotten.
Yeah, I've been holding them. Yeah, I had 26, so I'm down to 24 now because I used 2.
Oh, nice.
So,
That's the reason why nobody can get them.
Yeah.
There is a theory that there's only a certain amount of Grease Monkey crews ever released in the game, you know. So like you have to burn one up for someone else to roll one, you know.
There's all kinds of theories on crews. I mean, we don't even need to. I like people's ideas on when to roll, how to roll. Hey, and different techniques to roll. You know, the dances to do while you roll.
Yeah,
all of them. You know, so it's just
yeah. Have me lucky underwear on when I'm rolling.
Yeah. So for the most part, we just all, we all have the same opinion on the pillage. Then, we think that it's fair and doable, except for the 128, which is the basic weekly target, or something they should be able to come up with out of our weekly. I would think that should be the easiest one to get the damage correct.
Well, fair and doable for everyone that's been in game and up to date with everything in the last, say, 6 months. If anyone's brand new to the game, yeah, they're kind of like out in left field.
Yeah, I guess we could talk about the pillage being a catch-up mechanism, and it's no longer. This isn't a catch-up mechanism. This is a current tech.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. The pillage has more or less actually turned into the raid without half repair time.
Yeah.
Because the raid we now have like 6 days to do. So there's like not a lot of pressure on the raid. Now the pressure seems to have gone into pillage, where not only do you have only 3 days to do it, and you have to get very important tech in it, but you don't have half repair time either. Plus, you're using one of the targets is using the exact same fleet as what you have to use for your weekly. I mean, there is so much pressure on in this event that it's not even funny.
Yeah,
and then they go and screw us by putting in a brand new target, and everyone has to suddenly figure out a way to adapt and get to do it, or take horrendous repair times.
And as you were saying about the lack of half repair, that's why I used the Grease Monkeys, because I've not been happy that we are getting virtually raids basically without half repair. And I don't know if I would have done it, to be honest with you, or wanted to do it without the Grease Monkey, because to me the damage would have been excessive. It would have been too high. Not something I would have been comfortable with.
No, exactly. And you use 2 Grease Monkeys, so.
I did. Yeah, I used one for each fleet.
So it was okay with you at half repair, is what you're basically saying.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if we had half repair to start with,
No, exactly. So
yeah,
and I'd probably feel the same too. Because that's my whole problem. Is I don't have a problem with the targets. I just have a little problem with the damage being turned up just a little bit too much. So here we go. That'd be
I'm sorry.
no, that's it. I mean, go ahead.
I'm just hoping the 128 isn't going to be the 133 and the FM.
I don't know what to expect. Well, the damage test is they say it's going to be similar, so I'm hopeful.
Yeah, I don't think the 133 or whatever the fuck it is, I don't think it's going to look anything at all like this, because they said, like you were saying, they said the damage types are supposed to be fairly similar, and like the splash in this one is just ridiculous.
Right, right.
sorry, I'm actually grinding out my FM as we chat. That was another thing about getting it done pretty quickly. You know what I mean? Once you know, two Grease Monkey crews, really, it's like 3 hours, but I took a 30-minute break between, you know, because it's like quite intense when you're playing non-stop for an hour and a half, sort of thing like that. But then that then freed my fleet up, my Praetorians, to then start grinding around the weekly, you know, and because obviously we have got that time, you know, you're using the same fleet for both tasks, you know. And another thing that I'm not particularly impressed with, I mean, I know we used to say in the past you could use one fleet to do everything. Yeah, that was okay, you know, but we didn't have as much to do. You know, the amount of points we had to get, the amount of things that we had to do wasn't nowhere near the amount we have to do on the FMs now and stuff like that, you know. The FM has become a huge freaking chore, you know.
Yeah, I would I would say the FM now requires more time than it ever has for me. You know, in years past, just more time.
I think it takes longer to do than any other event that they throw at us, you know. So
Well, I mean, and let's be honest too, with the changes to the way things are targeted now, like I don't know about you guys, but I can't do as many in a row as what I could before that target changing.
Well, yeah, I changed my fleet, so I can't say anything about it.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to like switch mine around at all yet. So, you know, like my flag gets annihilated now in the 131s where it didn't before. And you know, I had my ship number 5 kind of set up to take that damage with you know, extra armor on it and whatnot. And like my flag doesn't have none of that shit.
No, I totally get it. I had the same issue. So, and once, so I would hate it in your boat. I would hate it. And but I got to say, in my shoes, I didn't know how I was going to like the you know, the switch, and people were really against it, and I have to say I'm liking it, and here's my reason why. After I've made the changes that I needed to make that ship do it, I made the ship tank, the lead hull tanks basically on its own, on auto, full auto, and what I'm having to do is I'm still picking up damage on the other hulls, but nothing like the lead, of course. So what I'm liking is, in the long run, when it is time, I can hit quite a few in a row, but when it is time to repair that lead or the fleet, I just repair, and all I have to do is get that lead repaired and send it right back out, and I can run with all those others really damaged, and it makes no difference. And I like that aspect. So once you're already damaged and running, you can really run a long time with just repairing the lead. You know what I mean?
yeah, we used to do that with fleets in the past, didn't we, beforehand? You know?
Yeah. You know.
Yeah, but the way things are now, you know, we've all seen it before. We've had people say it before. For the trying to run the FM, you have to have your fleet built one way, but the pillage, it seems like you have to have them built another way because of the way the damage types and the splash and all that is. So it's almost like you have to have two fleets of those to run them, but well, you ain't got time to build them.
Oh, I'm even going to go as far as to say is even in the weekly, the damage type changes just from the numbers of the different types of target. I think, I think that if you're hitting the, I'm just going to throw it out with the 129, it's different than the 131. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think you have that just within the weekly itself.
I've still never tried a 131 yet. I just grind out the 121s and the 120s. Free repair.
It's just too much of a. Well, I was, and I thought to myself, I'm just got tired of doing that, and so I went to change the fleet. I fixed it quite a bit, and I really like it right now. And I just sent it into the 131s on auto because I'm not a huge fan of the spending the endless hours on the weekly, and it seems to be working. This is actually only week 2 of me having a fleet that can do it. So, and they're going away. So,
yeah. So what you do, repair when you go like asleep or something? Because I must admit, I am very resistant to whoever spend any coin on the FM. That is the one thing that I've always objected to, having to spend any coin on the FM, and I don't think I'll ever will if I can coin it. If I can grind it for free.
Yeah, I'm not having to spend coin on the FM at all. My fleet's taking some damage if I'm using it all through the day. I do have to repair every so often, and it's like a 2-hour repair for the lead gets repaired, and I'm back out going, and I just keep damaging the rest of the fleet till the night, and then I just go to bed and repair the whole fleet, and it's done for the next day. It's working out. It's really well. I'm not talking about 24 hours a day hitting, but you surely could, because just that way, you can keep. Well, you couldn't. It's not going to make it 24 hours. The rest of the ships, I'm not sure how many hours straight, but they work for my gameplay. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Damnation. I think we got off topic.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I just went back and looked at pillage prizes and stuff. I thought, let's get this back round pillage again, Yeah. So what are people taking from pillage? Obviously, the more Pegasus, and but what else are people grabbing? What you've seen in that you really need for those that didn't.
You're getting the upgrade kits, the BXP tokens.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Are you guys all picking up that? I'm not sure how. I don't want to slaughter this name. The glaive pack cannon for the dragoons, or is that an interest to you?
I'm not.
I'm not either, and that's what I was wondering.
If you've already picked up 5 and you have 1 on every dragoon that you have in your fleet, that's all you can get, unless you're making 2 or 3 fleets of dragoons, because it only allows you to put it on a dragoon.
Yeah.
So if you bought 15 of the damn things, you can only use 5.
Yeah, I did pick them up, because I could, basically.
You got so many points.
Yeah, I might grab some more of them bladed pinion missiles as well. I don't know if I need them, but I could still grab a few. I've still got nearly 300k I haven't spent yet, so and I've got to look down there, and basically, you've got the batteries that you can buy in, and corrosive and pen batteries, but I've got quite a few of those, I think, anyway. So it'd just be like some of the sync drives. Yeah, some of the sync drives, and then you've got the batteries that you can buy in, and corrosive and pen batteries, but I've got quite a few of those, I think, anyway. So it'd just be like some of the sync drives. Yeah, some of the sync drives, and then you've got the batteries that you can buy in, and corrosive and pen batteries, but I've got quite a few of those, I think, anyway. So it'd just be like some of the sync drives. Yeah, some of the sync drives, and then you've got the batteries that you can buy in, and corrosive and pen batteries, but I've got quite a few of those, I think, anyway. So it'd just be like some of the sync drives. Yeah, some of the sync drives, and then you've got the batteries that you can buy in, and corrosive and pen batteries, but I've got quite a few of those, I think, anyway. So it'd just be like some of the sync drives. Yeah, some of the sync drives, and then you've got the batteries that you can buy in, and corrosive and pen batteries, but I've got quite a few of those, I think, anyway Yeah. Maybe. Go on, sorry.
I picked those up during Bounty. The gray packs.
Yeah, I've picked up quite a few things anyway. So yeah, it's. But I've got about 300k to spend. And if I wanted to, obviously, I could go and spend another 3 hours and get another 600k or something. So it's not something that's not doable. If I wanted to grab, I'll grab everything.
How's everyone's War Pegasus build going?
I guess it's good. I got mine together. I guess, you know what I mean?
Mine's cooking.
Mine's done except for the armor I need to get to the FM this week.
Mine is completely built. I mean, we can quibble about builds, but it's completely built and armored, ranked, and it 1 day, 20 hours, and it'll be at U3. So
Mine's built. It's fully ranked. It's already U3, and I just need the armor from the FM this week to finish it off.
Nice. Nice. I'm not I'm not U'd, but I'm ranked and built and armored, but I'm definitely not whatever. I'm not upgraded, and I'm probably not going to upgrade. Hopefully, it's not in my plans to upgrade. So,
for those that are wondering why some of us are U3 instantly, there was a package TLO back before the Pegasus was actually released in the raid last month, or the month and a half before, that had all the build tokens for the fleet, all the upgrade tokens for the fleet. So as soon as I had the flagship built, I could instantly go to U3 as soon as I got the kits.
yeah, there was one out the other day. I'm not going to lie, I did take it. About £16, $16.45 UK, and they also gave me 40 Peggy build tokens as well. And I thought, well, if I need to refit, they'll come in handy. There's a few other bits and pieces in that deal, and I thought, okay.
We were in a discussion in Discord the other night. It's like, why even play the game anymore? You can just buy everything.
Well, I mean, I didn't. That was just all I've done is I bought that just to finish off the last part of it, and obviously give me some refit tokens. I mean, I had already built 95% of the fleet before I bought that, so that just gives me some refit options, and obviously finishes off the U3 upgrade on the War Pegasus, which I think is going to be the most critical out of all of them.
Well, I think you're kind of missing the point of what I'm saying though. It's like it's gone from the time and day when you could tell who spent a lot of time playing this game by what they had. Where that days are gone, man.
yeah.
All you gotta do is just log on the game, buy an LTO, and you got current shit for what the event that's going on right then and there already.
There's current people.
It's bullshit, in my opinion.
Right. There's current people I know that actually just talked to them about it in top alliances that are not doing events at this moment. They're just gonna buy what they need. I guess you don't screw up that way. You know what I mean? But you don't build the wrong things.
Yeah, I haven't gone to that extreme yet. I've been doing all the events that I've needed to, win stuff. I took that. I was in two minds about getting it, and then I thought, no, I can see. As I said, I hadn't spent any money last week, and I've been sitting on, it for a while, and I thought, go on in, this one, it's only a small amount, yeah, I'll take it. And as I said, it gives me refit tokens and stuff like that, which is useful, because if I have to start doing upgrades on the Praetorians, I haven't got to worry about if I have to refit the Pegasus, so I can do it instantly, hopefully, and then allow my Praetorians to go for their refits, which is going to be difficult, really, because it's the same fleet that we use for the FM. You know. But there you go. Right.
Well, we all heard there's supposed to be upgrades for the Praetorians, so hopefully they'll come out either in the next raid or they're going to run a TLC for it. But yeah, I'd like to see how these targets going to change because of the upgrades.
Well, I don't know if you're getting ahead of ourselves, but the upgrades, you know, this is like BP next week. Can we go there now? I suppose we're half hour into the show. So, you know, next week's briefing, yeah. So we've got the November raid, which begins on Wednesday the 13th. But it says that the November raid includes top tier targets, a new interceptor hull, plus equipment, 3 new CICs, an experimental U4 upgrade for the Pegasus, and an upgrade for the Praetorian. Now, the thing that concerns me about this is they both upgrade in the same shipyard, and the Praetorian is our current FM fleet as well. You know, and it's hard to be using it for your FM while you're upgrading it, unless they drop a load of upgrade tokens, which I can't see happening. So that is my main concern, is that we got to possibly upgrade 2 fleets, and in the same shipyard, and one of them that is currently used almost 24/7. You know.
Oh, from what I'm hearing, the upgrade 4 for the Pegasus flagship is actually the CIC slot.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're adding a upgrade 4, is that going to open up upgrade 4 for everything else?
No, and I would just like to take this opportunity, if I hadn't already, and I think I may have, but I'm going to do it again. I'd like to thank all you people who have purchased all these upgrade 3s this entire time for ensuring that there is going to be an upgrade 4. Thank you ever so much.
That's true. That's true. If people didn't do it, it wouldn't be here.
You know, I'm quite surprised they ain't even mentioned anything about the. Are we going to get a specialty hull next raid or what? Because it didn't say it in the BP next week. You know, I'm surprised that nobody's heard anything about that.
I'm honestly thinking that we probably won't. I think that after nobody really built any or used any the last time, they're like, yeah, we're not very good at making sure that they're useful in targets. Is almost where I think that went, but that's just my opinion.
I hope so. I hope it did go that way. You know, because that was how I felt. I'm like, well, I'm not going to waste my time if you can't design a consistent target where I get fun, and it's fun, you know. So
yeah, but nobody really had, with trying to get everything else built. You know, there's a lot of people didn't have any time to build it either.
No, yeah, I agree. I mean,
the only supplemental hull that's been actually useful is the suppressor in this pillage.
Mm-hmm.
So, since we're at BP next week, we're going to look at the November raid, the new interceptor, hull, and equipment. Well, and 3 new CICs. So, the CICs are for what?
They're for the War Pegasus, I believe.
I hope so, because I don't. Yeah. I think I've asked that before. Is if they're for the regular Pegasus, is it going to be the 1 second changeover, or is it going to be the 14-hour changeover?
Okay, well, I just didn't know if anybody knew what they were, what the CICs, which ones those are for. Pegasus, that's what we're thinking. So, okay.
Well, the CICs got 2 of them has the same name that we have right now, but with an X behind it. So I have a feeling 2 of them might be for the fleet. and the other one is going to be for the War Pegasus.
Possibly. Yeah, I mean, as is you, it's as clear as mud in the way they describe stuff. You know what I mean? It doesn't explain where those CICs are meant to go. It doesn't, you know,
Okay.
it's very concise. It's not clear exactly where it's going. You know.
So if it's 3, we could possibly get 2 for the Pegasus and 1 for the Praetorian. We don't know. We don't even know if they're adding these ability to CIC. I mean, we just don't know.
That's the reason why I said. That's the reason why I said earlier, if they got 2 flags there, are they going? You know,
No, we're safe on that one. I really think we're safe on that. That was just because it was requested, as far as I can tell.
yeah, we'll see.
I surely hope so. Now, well, I'm not an interceptor guy myself, so that's really I don't in equipment. So I'm not interceptor in equipment that can go. I don't care about that. But the CICs here, I'm really going to be interested in, and then the Praetorian fleet. I'm old school where I believe in my base first and doing your weekly, getting your weekly done. You know, all the things off your weekly. So and having a fleet to be able to do that. So I got to keep this Praetorian upgraded, and I don't see me upgrading Pegasus.
No, I mean, I think it's really dependent on how long the actual upgrades take. You know what I mean? And what the benefits of the upgrades are, you know, what they give us.
I've said it before. I'm just kind of wondering how much problem people are going to have that don't have the black evade from the bladed pinions. They've got the other missiles and all that. How much is that going to go with the raid? Since it looked like the raid targets are going to have CMs in them.
That's another thing. That was the one thing in this. Well, it's not a raid, I suppose. That's why, yeah. I was just thinking, we didn't get the bladed pinions as it drops off, but you only get them in raids, didn't you? In the sets, you know, where you can get the shards for them. But I suppose there'll be shards again for bladed pinions in next week's raid. By that time, though, most people will have a fleet built, you know, or be using whatever they've got on their hulls, you know.
Well, you can get the shards to the higher levels of the FM targets, but, well, how can you get them right now when you're trying to do pillage?
Yeah.
They're also in pillage that you can buy 5 of them.
Okay. That's if I can get the points for them.
I think the bloody pinions, so you can take 10 of the bloody pinion missiles. Because I was just looking at them.
Most of the builds that I've seen for the War Pegasus so far is all the limited items. So you got a top end build with everything limited, and then you got your bottom end build with everything not limited, and I think there's going to be a big difference between the two.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't looked at the price list lately. Did they ever put the surgical strike warheads back in? Because I remember before pillage started, they yanked them out for some reason. Said they had to do something to them, and they was going to put them back in. So did they ever put those back in?
Yeah, I think they're back in there. So I was just checking my.
Yeah, they've been back in for a while. Actually, they weren't out for very long.
I was just wondering what. I never got an answer what was going on. Really got a good answer with what was going on with those.
Probably a stat block change.
I don't need none of those.
Okay.
So I was just checking my limited and what I've got in there and everything. I've got loads of all the batteries. Ballistic, explosive, corrosive, concussive, pen, radioactive. Yeah. I've only got a couple of the pinion missiles though, so I might grab a few of them. The bladed pinions, because I've built my fleet now. Obviously, I put 4 MDS frees on the flag. I assume most people have gone that way.
I just SOS'd. Huh. But yeah, actually, I did put 4. Yeah.
I mean, my logic is like, there's 4 countermeasure slots there, and they're got to be there for a reason,
Yeah.
I put 3 just to be different.
There you go. I actually, I had 3 and I thought, well, I'll go 4. Go 4 because it's,
And I actually don't have a CM special on it yet. It's to be determined which one I put on.
We were discussing with Cuttlefish, and I think we decided that the countermeasure loaders was the best one. In the end.
Yeah.
That's not the one that I've used. I used the the precise whatever that one is. I'm not even in the game right now. I'm doing something else. But yeah.
Oh, we didn't even bring that one up. We had the hydro nozzle versus the countermeasures 4 versus the Gallia system.
I don't think the Gala could go on the Pegasus.
It does, but it's not that great. Yeah.
There's a lot of pros and cons, and looking at the 3 of them together, the autoloader 4 was the one that we pretty much broke it down to.
Yeah, I mean, what we were saying is if you've got the flag up to U3, because of the extra survival that you get, you're better off going with the countermeasure loaders 4 because it gives you the extra pen reload. You should theoretically have enough survival on the flag, and because the amount you're going to have is into the over 10,000 plus, and so the amount that gives you is nominal compared to the extra damage you could get from a faster reload. So,
well, I think a lot of them might depend too on if you're using lowered pen mounts too or not, because getting all the extra survivability out of that counters probably wouldn't be quite as important.
That's true. Quick question. Speaking of countermeasures, is everybody getting tired of having to claim the Gale 2 before you're able to get the 1-day build token out of the FM?
It's still a little pricier, or it's 200,000, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
I think I got about 100 of them, so it's just like I'll never use these.
Right, I know. I get what you're saying, but yeah, I just don't know if it's worthy of time.
I was wondering if anyone has 1,000 of that damn thing yet.
I'm surprised they ain't put this. Why don't they just go ahead and put caps on some of those? Because like the resistors, you can claim up to 99 of those. Why do you need 99? You don't. Put about 30 on it and leave it be.
Because they put it that high that way because there's always a roadblock to keep you from getting what you want to get. You have to go through that roadblock first. That way they can put them in TLCs and stuff like that. That way you're forced into having to do like prize pack 1, prize pack 2, and prize pack 3. And you can't just go straight to, the mastery round where everything you want is.
Mm. I'm still got some stuff that I know I don't need, but other people have been asking about and all that, lower levels. Some of the tier 6 researchable stuff, when that will, because they hear some of us talking about certain things and all that, but they can't find them because they're never put back in anymore.
I'd love to see priority targeting put back in, but probably never going to see that again.
Well, I think we said it before, like during raids and even these events. I think everything that's ever been available, more or less, that's still viable, should be put in there.
Yeah.
For those of us that have got things, we just click, already owned, and they disappear. But for other people, there's a lot of specials for the fleets they might be building that could be viable. For them to be able to build up their game. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's I don't see any reason why they couldn't do it.
So I take it we're done totally talking about pillage.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, these could be available in a pillage as well, because theoretically it's meant to be a catch-up of it. But yeah.
And you guys have pretty much already touched all over BP next week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing we didn't mention was the 2 TLCs, which are, was it the Breacher campaign again, and then something called Pieces of 8. I think we've seen it before.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one. Huh. I must have been out that week.
Well, I'm glad in the Breacher campaign, because everybody got the Breacher fleet. So at least there'll be those players will be able to start working on that. At least start getting it upgraded. The players that fleet matters to.
Yeah.
Well, they got a free Breacher fleet before last bounty, so yeah, they can upgrade them. But if they just want to leave them the way they are, they really don't need to. Because the upgrades change it over to what? Concussive?
Well, it just is a stepping. It doesn't actually change anything. I mean, it gives you the bonuses, but it doesn't actually change your build. So you can just continue doing that level 1, and then just try to get a level 2, and then it adds the defense.
Yeah.
U1 gave it concussive stats.
Right.
U2 gave it the deflection bonus.
Okay.
All right. Well, if we're done pretty much talking about pillage and BP next week, I'm just going to pull the plug on this one a little early. I got some things I want to take care of anyway. So, yeah, thanks for coming out, everybody. Appreciate you. I'm sure we'll talk to you next week when the raid's going on. And I'm sure we'll have lots of things to talk about, lots of complaints to register, all that same old fun stuff that always happens. We'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.